We're here to eventually work ourselves out of a job once sexual assault has been eliminated from our ranks. Our goal is to provide avenues and resources to assist the community in participating in their role of prevention. We are also here to help the community to be alert and ready bystanders. We're here to ensure that we take action to intervene when we see or hear somebody who's being mistreated. We are here to ensure that you know your rights as a victim. And we are here to let you know that we're here to support you in the case of a sexual assault to you or a family member or to someone you know. We're here to bring about a cultural change and to create a community of consent and respect, intervention, accountability, and prevention. Throughout the month ahead, SHARP is offering a plethora of opportunities for you as community members to take your part. Taken away if you're not in the top 40. So here is your t-shirt for now, sir. And your t-shirt, Sergeant Major Dennison. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We can trade that. Yeah. Thank you very much. And so that's not the end of our announcements. We have a ton going on. Also being kicked off today is going to be the Know Your Part, Do Your Part poster project. HQJ, or Big Army, has given us a theme for Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month, and it is to eliminate sexual assault. Know your part, do your part. And so we in the Vicenza community have come up with a poster project where our community members are invited to take a picture holding up a sign, and you'll see the pictures in the middle of the slide, that says how they're doing their part to fight the good fight to help us change the culture. We'll have opportunities to have pictures taken a part in the SHARP program and in the process. We'll be there to help answer your questions, and we'll be serving coffee and pastries, so it'll be very casual and informal. On the 22nd, we're going to have the We Mentor Lunch and Learn. It's another event. It's teaming up with the Female to Female Initiative, and it's free lunch with a side of engaging conversation The topic this month is going to be looking into the book and the movie of 50 Shades of Grey and talking about how different levels of abuse are woven into that movie and made into an exciting, romantic, fantastical storyline, and how that affects our culture and how we can go about ways of doing that in a healthier manner if that were to be our experience. Then, at the end of the month, we have the International Denim Day. That's going to be on April 29th, starting in Hoekstra Field, taking a walk down to the conference room at the Golden Lion to have some more panel discussion and talk about sexual assault and how Denim Day started in Italy and how that's brought us changes in our culture and how we deal with sexual assault now. So tons of community events. We'd like to get everybody involved. On the next slide is actually just a write-up of each and every event.
A full year effort on our behalf as commanders, leaders, and community members. But this month kind of highlights it. But we should be continuing with these activities and our own personal actions to help prevent sexual assault and sexual harassment within our community always. So please keep that in mind. So heighten the awareness now, but keep that awareness year-round. Thank you.
Okay, so next up we have the Director of Public Works, Bob Clark, who will talk about some of the ongoing projects taking place around the VMC.
Thank you, Aaron. Good morning, everyone. As many of you know, we're in the final significant phase of the military construction project that built the Del Den complex. And this is the Viale Ferrin road repair and road improvements. It's widening the road, adding bike path, sidewalks, lighting, and other safety features, better signage, and small features. As a follow-up, I gave a heads up and a get ready statement in the last few InfoXs, probably from November until March, and we started on March 1st. This is the first progress report on how we're doing. And the general nature of the graphics you can see there, so the estimated completion is 3 July. Hopefully that's a happy 4th of July present. I just want to say thank you for everyone's patience and flexibility. We've been using the Southeast Access Road as an afternoon egress, and we've also been monitoring the traffic flow in the morning and the afternoon and any other hotspots, working with the units and holding either weekly or biweekly IPRs if we have operations coming up that we know are going to change traffic patterns, and if we want to do something about it. We've made one significant change to the traffic management, and that's you can go through the Public Works Service Desk if anybody has any suggestions, or email me. I've gotten a few already, and we've reacted to some of those suggestions in concert with the units, DES, and DPTMS. So that's it on Viale Ferrin, pending any questions. But next, I'd like to introduce two of my staff members, Roger Allison from DPW Environmental, who will talk about the great Earth Week events that we have in this very environmentally conscious community, and Mr. Dave Gettleman from Housing talking about a very important entitlements survey going on for overseas housing allowance for military members.
A lot of things going on. It starts with kickoff ceremony on Monday, April 20th at the ECS building, the lobby there. That's in building 108. Then there's information booths at PX. The high school is going to also be there. DPW partnered with the high school, and we provided mentors on a number of their projects. So they'll be telling you all about what they found in recycling, energy, and waste management. I'm really looking forward to their activities. And then, of course, the Art Center has some things going on all week. So give them a call, see what they've got going on. And with that, I open it to any questions. And with none, I turn it over to Dave.
Morning, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dave Gettleman. I'm from the Housing Office. Last month I was here and explained that there were some surveys that were happening throughout the month of March. The surveys are the overseas housing allowance. At 3%. What they've done is they've extended this survey to include April, up until the 22nd of April. And I plead with you to, if you are active duty service member or a spouse of a service member, to complete the survey as soon as possible. I also ask that the leadership assist in attaining this goal. These surveys are used to determine whether we have enough for our service members to live in the economy. So a low participation will result in reduced allowances.
Yeah, so I want to highlight on this because this is very important. So in the bottom line of this is if we don't complete the survey, our soldiers will get less money. So we're going to put this out in an op order as well to distribute out to all the commanders. But for those commanders who are here in the room or those supervisors or leaders, ensure that your service members get the appropriate amount of reimbursement for living off post. Very important. Obviously, 3% is not representative of what our community can do. Get those other 97% to go online, fill out the thing. It takes, what, 15 minutes?
20 to 30
20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so it takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it because it's dollars in our soldiers' pockets. So please encourage all of your service members or their spouses, and spouses can do it for their service member if the service member is deployed or otherwise too busy to do it. So please make sure everyone's aware of that. So thank you. So Richard, appreciate your comment about the video and the audio not working on the left side. So I think they were scurrying around working on that. I saw lots of people with cables running around. So give us some feedback if that's working. If not, the left side camera audio was still not working. So if you give us feedback on how that's working, I appreciate that. Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Next up, Mr. Sean Miller from the USAG Vicenza Emergency Management Office is going to update us on DPTMS.
Good morning, Aaron. My name is Sean Miller. I'm with the USAG Vicenza Emergency Management Office. As the commander mentioned this morning, that it is April 1st, and this is not an April Fool's prank, but we will be doing Operation La Bamba 2, which is scheduled on Saturday the 18th of April. Right now the time is to be determined. Unlike the previous year's La Bamba, which happened about the same time in last year April, with the 4,000-pound bomb, which is also in these current unexploded ordnances are in the same area, it'll have little to no impact on the community. So I just want to put that up front. There'll be no evacuations. There is very minimal surface danger. In fact, it's really just limited to 200 meters compared to the couple kilometers that we had last year. It is a Italian host nation action. A team of explosive ordnance disposal members will be conducting the render safe operations within the Peace Park on that Saturday. There is one bomb, one unexploded ordnance that is adjacent to our northeast section perimeter. So there is some concern for us just to make sure that the TMP fuel point and the brigade company headquarters buildings aren't affected. So that morning, our military police and the Carabinieri we'll be putting, we'll cordon off that area just to ensure that no one goes into that area. And we'll be monitoring it on our closed-circuit TVs within our Emergency Operations Center. But again, no impact to the community and especially no evacuations. Which brings us to our annual exercise, the Lion Response exercise that will happen on May 6th through the 7th. Every year we do an all-hazards full-scale exercise. We look at all the different type of hazards that could affect the community, whether it's a terrorist or man-made incident or a natural disaster. This year we're actually going to do an earthquake scenario since we are in a seismic-prone area. Of note, the exercise will affect all of the installations, all of the communities. So that includes the Darby military community, as well as all of our other satellite facilities. What does this mean? Throughout the day of the 6th and into the 7th, we'll see some increases in force protection conditions from FPCON Charlie to FPCON Delta. We'll see additional barriers being placed around the PX, around the commissary, and some other high-use facilities. We'll have increased soldiers on a presence patrol, or what we call troop diversion, so you'll see that throughout the entire community. The majority of the events will happen on Caserma Ederle, both on the 6th and on the 7th. And especially on the 7th, there'll be some increased activity with both our first responders and our partner responders, the host nation first responders, at the Teen Center, Building 373 on Caserma Ederle. So we highly recommend throughout the day of the 7th not to park adjacent to the Teen Center, to the Ederle Inn, as well as the Central Processing Facility between the hours of 7:30 and 1500. Reason for this is when the event does happen, a lot of the first responders will start cordoning off of the area. A lot of fire engines and ambulances will be coming in and out, so it may be difficult to get to your vehicle and then proceed on. Later on in the day, we'll have another incident at the Ederle Pool area. So we'll be closing off that pool from 9 to noon, as well as barricading or blocking the parking just behind the pool area. Subject to anyone's questions. Thank
All
you.
right, so that'll be a fun day on Caserma Ederle, and if you do happen to get caught up in the middle of the exercise, feel free to role play along as appropriate based upon the earthquake that had just notionally occurred at one of those sites. It should be a good event, but you'll see lots of activity going on in and around, as you mentioned, the areas, the pool and the teen center. And on Caserma Ederle. So it should be a good event. Hopefully we didn't give too much away of the scenario, because I know Major Mumphrey's in here and he was taking notes on what's going on so we can start studying ahead of time. But it's a good exercise to test our response to all these things, give a good rehearsal, and so we can continue to improve our procedures for reacting to anything, as well as checking our force protection measures, which are always important to do. So thank you, Sean.
Okay, now the ACS Director, Ms. Julia Sibilia, will speak about the results of this year's Army Family Action Plan.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to update the community on the 63 issues that were submitted by community members last November for our AFAP conference. Each issue is considered and discussed by the 40 to 50 delegates that we have each year from the community. And it's important to note that it's a cross-section of the community, including our teens, including folks from Darby, and military, civilian, retirees, etc. So after the conference concludes, we have the 3 top issues that move forward to the IMCOM consideration. But all of the issues, so the remaining 60 issues, are reviewed again by the AFAP Steering Committee that's led by our Deputy Garrison Commander and our AFAP Conference Coordinator. They go through each issue and they assign them to units or directorates for resolution. And each one of those issues has been assigned. We're about 80% successful in having the resolutions back for our garrison commander. By the end of the month, we should have 100% resolutions so that we can present these out to the community. But I wanted to come here today and let you know that our community takes these issues very seriously. The AFAP process is a wonderful one. It helps the Army make grassroots changes. You see our great volunteers here who helped to make it a wonderful event. So I look forward to reading your issues for next year's conference, which will be in November, and you will see in the next month or so the rollout of the next AFAP conference. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Next, the Military Personnel Division Chief, Ms. Eunice Sohn, will talk about the upcoming Vicenza Transition Summit.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here on behalf of Christina Overstreet, the actual face of the Soldier for Life Transition Program, SFL TAP, who is extremely disappointed that she's not here to address you in person today because she's off at a transition conference, learning of even more great ways to serve the community through the Soldier for Life program. Before I dig into the exciting new initiative that she and the team have been working so diligently on, I want to take a moment to talk to you about the Soldier for Life rebranding that many of you may or may not know about. The SFL TAP program has transitioned itself and rebranded from what was formerly known as the Army Career Assistance Program, or ACAP. However, the rebranding was not just a name change, but an entire concept. Through research and historic data of folks transitioning under the old program, service members and family members did not realistically think about preparing until about 6 months out from their retirement, separation, or ETS, if even that long. For some, the program was definitely not enough and was not commensurate with the same dedication with which our service members served our nation. If you have not noticed, the Soldier for Life logo is all across the installation, from in-processing, ACS services, including financial and counseling services, to the Transition Assistance Program itself. This is because the new plan is comprehensive. The Army is invested in taking care of its soldiers from the beginning and beyond the time where service members hang up their uniforms for the next chapter of their lives. All soldiers will inevitably transition at some point, but will remain soldiers for life. And the Army, so good at planning, decided to integrate that at the beginning of a soldier's career and throughout. With this concept, the Army will start soldiers early on in the process with financial and budget readiness initiatives at AIT and First Duty Stations to help the soldier on his or her path towards being ready for transition, whether that be in a few years or 20+ years down the road. It also encompasses sponsorship and mentorship throughout the career, with leaders at all levels encouraging soldiers to think about life after the Army, rather than just being a side thought. ACS services also helps family preparedness because the concept also embodies and recognizes the Army family that will transition along with that soldier. It is stressful, confusing, exciting, and a somewhat daunting process. But with this restructuring, the Army is committed to those that have served in its ranks and in support of our nation, and for a lifetime. The biggest push in this plan is the actual transition process. No longer than 6 months out, the Army has developed and is still developing a comprehensive plan that takes at least 18 months to fully appreciate the benefits. Though that is just a mark on the wall, the concept supports that it is never too early to start. The transition team, led by Ms. Christina Overstreet, is constantly developing new initiatives that help the service member in their transition. She even just built a new VTC capability for individuals to conduct virtual interviews with companies all over the world. It is an evolving process and looks very different than it did even a couple of years ago. The team will help with resumes, interview skills, connect you with industry leaders and partners, help you with continuing education, benefits, entrepreneurial opportunities, and much more. Things that we all get a little rusty on while in the service. Next slide, please. With that said, we don't just have a good news story, as Colonel Menace likes to say, but a great news story. Your Garrison and SFL TAP team, in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, hiring of our Heroes Foundation, and others to include Ann Fugate of the Spouse Employment Readiness Team of the ACS, and local agencies such as the CPAC and the Italian Chamber of Commerce are excited to bring you the 2015 Vicenza Transition Summit. You can see the summit will span across 2 days, the 22nd to the 23rd of April, which is a Wednesday and Thursday here at the Golden Lion and the Teen Center Gym. It is open to everyone in our community and highly encouraged for service members understanding the importance of planning on life on the other side after the uniform. On the 22nd will be an exciting opportunity for leaders of our soldiers, also transitioning service members themselves at some point, to sit in on a no-holds-barred and real discussion about the transition process, with panel that includes distinguished visitors such as Mr. Curtis Coy, Deputy Undersecretary of the Economic Opportunities in Veterans Benefits Administration, and will also include senior leadership across our local community, such as Sergeant Major Brian Novak, the Installation Senior HR NCO, as well as Colonel Pedro Almeida, USARAF Chief of Staff, who will speak about his personal experiences as a customer of the program and his plans for his future transition. It'll be a great opportunity to pick the brains of those behind the rebranding at a national level, along with those experiencing the program at the local levels, while the DoD focuses on all of its service members and their transition to the other side. That evening, we encourage everyone to participate in the networking session to discuss with leaders of industry and get some time to socialize and network with agencies and services at all levels. It is coined a speed networking event, while you can engage industry leaders and transition services at all levels. So please dust off your resumes and get ready to discuss how competitive you are at the job market. It is a unique opportunity to get useful feedback of where you stack up with the competition. Day 2, folks will get the opportunity to register for workshops that we are very excited about. You will have an opportunity to pick up to 2 out of the 7 offered for this event, which I'll discuss in the next slide. Transitioning soldiers, all service members, spouses, and civilians are welcome to attend. There will be another panel discussion and workshops through lunch, free hot dogs provided graciously by our VFW, and then the actual hiring event in the afternoon with companies and agencies local and all over the globe. Next slide, please. So all these workshops are great opportunities to sharpen your skills for future transition. These workshops offer insight from industry leaders that will be honest with you and tell you what they are looking for, how you measure up, or what you need to improve on or prepare in. We are especially excited about the new initiative that Christina spearheaded, the LinkedIn workshop, which is one of the ones listed above, an underutilized tool by many members of our armed forces. It is a professional social network and the wave of the future. See how your profile measures up and what agencies are looking for when they look you up. Next slide, please. At least 20 employers are expected to participate, either virtually or on-site. Some of them are listed above, and as well as the CPAC, local contractor agencies, and non-appropriated funds, the Italian Chamber of Commerce, and other industry leaders that are committed to hiring our heroes and ready to give jobs on the spot. Next slide. Please sign up at www.hiringourheroes.org. We're listed on page 2 as a Vicenza Summit 2015. There are details of the event listed and an opportunity for you to pre-sign up for the event. Thank you, and I hope you can be a part of this great news story.
All right, thank you, Eunice. I want to encourage again all the chains of command that are here or listening to participate in this. It's a very exciting event. We've got a lot of big names, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm from the state side coming here, as Eunice said, to offer some jobs and share experience and pass on some wisdom on for how you transition into the civilian world. So we really want to give a good showing for this and good participation, not only because of the opportunities it offers our soldiers, but as as companies see the market that we have here for either soldiers or civilian transitioning into the civilian world, and the opportunities for them to get good employees, they'll be more excited about coming back in the future. So we can really help, perpetuate this program and the participation here in Italy by having a great showing for this. So look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you.
Okay, now Ms. Heather Carlson, Family Advocacy Program Coordinator, is going to speak out about Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Thanks. Morning, my name is Heather Carlson. I'm the Family Advocacy Program Parent-Child Educator. And as you've heard, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. This year's theme is Children Deserve to be Protected, Know the Warning Signs, Help Stop Abuse Before it Happens. The Family Advocacy Program promotes healthy relationships year-round. We have many great events during April. Today is the opening event for Child Abuse Prevention Month and Month of the Military Child. At this event, families can make blue ribbons that will hang around Caserma Ederle in awareness of Child Abuse Prevention Month. FAB will be at the PX on Mondays in April with an information table including resources, giveaways, and class information. At this event and all April events, there will be a CAPM awareness ribbon promotion. This 4-foot foam and matting board ribbon made by the Arts and Crafts Center will be used to display our commitment as a community to prevent child abuse. Everyone today has been given a blue slip of paper to make their commitment to protect children and pin it on the ribbon today after the InfoX. The ribbon's located in the lobby of the arena. I ask that Colonel Menist and Command Sergeant Major Dennison be the first to make their commitment today. Surprise.
I'm working diligently.
By the end of April, the ribbon will be blue to demonstrate our responsibility to prevent child abuse. Next slide. The next slide lists all of our events in April, and you can see all of the events on the MWR website. Thank you.
So am I pinning this on right now? After.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, the director of FMWR, Mr. Chris Bradford, will highlight some of the upcoming MWR events.
Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Pass that one as well, right here, FMWR events. Because we decided there weren't enough recognition and prevention and awareness months in April, we have one more. It's also Month of the Military Child, and during Earth Week, it's also Chris Bradford Appreciation Day. So, next slide, please. Not a joke.
All right, that was just checks to make sure everyone was paying attention. I told you there'd be an April Fool's joke in here somewhere.
And I had to do it now because I was afraid that it would happen and I would be on the receiving end if I didn't do that. So, Month of the Military Child, the theme, their lives, their stories. Today is the kickoff of that event, as was already highlighted. In addition to all the good prevention awareness that will be there, we're also having everybody's favorite free food, fun from FMWR. There's live music, there's games, activities at the Villaggio Youth Center today at 1545. So get away from work early, go over there and join our youth for a great kickoff to this wonderful month. Next slide, please. It's also coming on Easter, and we have our favorite event, Extravaganza, coming up on Saturday. We're doing it a little bit different than previous years. We're going to do it right here on the larger field, right behind the arena, in between the arena and the health center, so we can have more space for youth to spread out, and also because the Easter Bunny told me he's bringing close to 10,000 eggs. In addition to that, the arena will be open doing bowling specials. The Arts and Crafts Center is going to be doing things that day, bouncy castles, so there's a lot of synergy to having the event here. We all have a call in for good weather for Easter, and I think that will come through. So join us there starting 1100 on Saturday. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just a few events out of the many that are happening during Month of the Military Child. The first one there is Resiliency Through Art, a partnership with the Arts and Crafts Center. Another partnership with Safety. We're having, backed by popular demand, the Bicycle Rodeo. Good fun safety tips as we get ready for youth and adults to start riding bikes in the spring weather, and also some prizes and fun there too. We also want to highlight a great event, laser tag. 6th through 8th graders will be going from Villaggio Youth Center to a local bowling entertainment center and participating in some laser tag, and there'll be some pizza and good stuff there too. Again, those are just a few of the events that are happening to highlight in the middle of the month. As was mentioned, please go to the MWR website for a full list of all the different activities planned during this month. Next slide, please. And if that's not enough, we have a live band, live performance, acrobatic performance called the Party Animals coming here. And I didn't know who the members of the Party Animals were, and I heard they were famous, so I got a list. And just in case you were wondering, that's Kaya the Kangaroo, Walter the Fox, Brandon the Bear, and Lance the Lion. I know they're all familiar to you, but I didn't know, so I wanted to make sure, in case you were wondering who the Party Animals were, that's who they are. And that's taking place on next Saturday, not this coming Saturday with Extravaganza, the following Saturday at 1500 here at the Ederle Fitness Center. Promises to be a fun, and it's free, show. Next slide, please.
And Chris, I got to ask, what
Yes,
age is that targeted at there for the Party Animals? Because
your
that has
your age
different
group.
meanings in different circles.
Yes, that's why I wasn't sure if that was a rock and roll band with the makeup and things. I want to make sure it's a family fun event targeted for everybody.
Okay.
I'm sure that you would enjoy as well, sir.
So it's not a KISS cover band?
No, sir.
Okay.
And spring also brings great adventures from outdoors. So the new outdoor recreation catalog is available, is out on the street. Some of you may have already picked it up. There's lots of outdoor adventures awaiting you. Some of those kind of potential adventures are listed on the slide. Of course, detailed inside the magazine. Also, if you're viewing online or on the website, you can see the link there will take you to a digital version of the magazine in case you like to peruse it in digits. And highly encourage everybody to pick up a copy of this and start planning, spring and summer, so you can get 6 months ahead. On the website, as I mentioned, there's also links to a lot of different events for Month of the Military Child. Also, I picked this up when I went to the youth center the other day. It's winter and spring, but it still has a few more months left of the brochure, the catalog for youth activities. I guess I wish I could highlight all of the MWR activities, but I'm told my time is up, so thank you.
All right, but for those of you that want to know about more, that the MWR website and calendar is a great little tool, and you can sort by whatever you want. So if you want kids events, you can sort by kids events. If you want adventure type things, you can sort by adventure things, or however you want to do it. It's a great tool to go to. I encourage everyone to go to it. I think I was talking to your marketing folks, and they said it got 20,000 hits this last month. So that's pretty good. So that means everyone's been there 1.5 times in our community. But there's probably like one person that goes to it every day that's like bumping up these numbers, and hopefully it's not you, Chris. Okay. So for those of you that haven't been keeping up with it, it's a great tool to go to because there's a lot of great things. And even if you've already filled your calendar, and you don't, like me, and you don't have any free space on there, some of your soldiers or civilians that work for you or work around you may be looking for things to do. So be sure to pass that on to them. So that they know all the great things that are to do both on post and off post in our community. Thank you.
Okay, so before we go any further, we do have a question on the Facebook page. I don't know if you saw that there from Nancy. Asks if the commissary will revisit the decision to remove or end early bird shopping hours.
Okay, so do we have a DECA rep here today? Okay, I don't think so. No one here from DECA, but I know they have looked at it, and currently at the current moment they've said no, that they have looked at it, they've had it for a while, didn't work out for a variety of reasons. For more information, you can direct straight to the commissary. They are on ICE, so you can find them there. It was an AFAP issue, and they have looked at it, and so we should be getting their feedback soon, officially through the AFAP process, if you want to wait for that. So, okay.
All right, thank you, sir. At this point, we'll go across the table for our additional community announcements from our service providers.
Good morning, Susana Sabrino for the Exchange. And I would like to take the opportunity that April is the month of the military child to remind parents that the Exchange recognizes the academic excellence of our students, and by the form of a program that we have called You Made the Grade. This, by bringing the quarterly report card, they get the opportunity to participate in a yearly raffle of prizes from $1,000, $2,000, and $5,000 for academic studies. The last time that we had a winner in the Vicenza community was in 2012. At that time, we had savings bonds, and the winner won $10,000 in savings bonds. So I hope that recognizing this and the participation from the community, that you go to the main store, talk to Cindy Brown, customer service, and they will give you all the details. Thank you.
I saw a lot of people taking notes on that when you mentioned $10,000. That's a pretty good prize. So please, and again, as always, pass it on. Since obviously not the entire community is not here in the room with us, but I see a lot of the chain of command. So please pass on to your soldiers and civilians that have students here in the community that would like to compete for that.
Thank you for just a couple more seconds. I thought as soon as I finished talking that I forgot a couple of things about Sharp Month. Don't have much of a voice because I've been so excited to talk about everything that's been going on. I don't want you guys to miss out that there's an art display going on all month long at the Ederle Library, a Survivors Art Display. And each Monday, either at the PX or at Del Din, there's going to be a pledge table where you can sign your commitment for preventing sexual assault. I also passed out a little teal ribbon to each and every one of you who are in this room today. If you can rock that teal ribbon throughout the month to show your commitment to preventing sexual assault, that would be fantastic. And then if you're feeling really enthusiastic and inspired, I will be out here in the lobby taking pictures for the poster project, and I invite all of you to come, and I challenge all of you to try and win a t-shirt at tomorrow's race tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Just to add one more thing, but a very important and somber note. April 5th is Gold Star Spouse Day. And I asked the Colonel if I could brief the community on the Survivor Outreach Services program that we have here in our community and talk a little bit about it because it is very important. The leadership and the SOS program are committed to ensuring that our survivors are always linked to the Army family and that we remember to include them in all of our events. And our Vicenza community has Gold Star children in our schools, Gold Star spouses and siblings, and a Gold Star parent working on our installation. So it's very important that we are cognizant of the fact that they are here and they're part of our community and that they may be wearing one of the 2 pins you see on the slide. The first one is the Gold Star pin that family members wear if their soldier was killed in action. And the second pin is called the Next of Kin pin that family members wear if their service member died while on active duty. And you will notice in the community we have several reserved parking spaces for our Gold Star families. And I'd like you just to think of them on Sunday on Gold Star Spouse Day and recognize and remember their loss and their soldiers. Thank you.
Just one more thing is of course we're here at the InfoX in exchange to receive feedback, and we're always looking for more feedback. Some of the feedback we've received recently, I just wanted to report, we're making some adjustments based off of that. One is at the Warrior Zone, we had a lot of requests for breakfast. So the Warrior Zone in the next couple of weeks will start up breakfast for those of you who live, work, or who are just looking for something different, maybe even live close to Del Din. The Warrior Zone will be doing breakfast. I have to admit that I was bribed with a donut to give that plug, so I just put it out there that for donuts I will make shameless plugs here at the InfoX. The other thing is that we also were in response some
Chris,
other
you're going to be at
requests.
the run tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be there at the finish line with a donut. No shirt needed.
Please wear a shirt.
Yeah, yes. Colonel Barr has requested that I do wear a shirt of some sort. The last thing is that part of those that feedback that we responded to also, there'll be some changes to the hours of operation at the ODR office at Del Din, some of the library hours at Del Din as well. We're going to change to being closed on Saturday to being open on Saturday, which means we'll close one day of the week there. We're also going to relocate the ODR office at Del Din into the fitness center for more visibility and hopefully some extended hours there too. So just wanted to put it out there that your feedback is listened to. It does make a difference, and we do make adjustments based off it. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone. For the Health Center, a challenge and a couple of opportunities. Due to local unit operations tempo and then some planned and unplanned personnel transitions that we've had recently at the Health Center and will continue to have throughout the spring, we are going to have some personnel shortages more so than we have in past years. So what that's going to do for us is force us to be a bit flexible as we go through the next 3 months or so. I ask our beneficiaries their patience with that. We believe that our same-day access will still be very, very good, but where we might start getting to the edge of capacity is some of our wellness and routine type appointments. So we just ask for your patience with that. We will have some mitigation plans forthcoming on how we can mitigate some of those appointments, get you taken care of while we take care of that wellness or routine appointment maybe a little bit later in the summer. So more to follow on that. One of our opportunities, it's getting to be the season for, again, sports and school physical time. So we are tracking that. Again, as always, ask the community to come in early rather than later. We do tend to get a big rush towards the end of the summer as we're trying to get school and sports physicals done. We are planning, and again, more information will be put out later, but at least 2 school physical days before July 4th. We're also looking at utilizing some of our Thursday mornings, maybe once or twice a month, as opportunities, depending on how much demand is there for that, so that we can get our kids taken care of into those great sports programs that we have here and also into school. And then as we're talking about donuts, just to reiterate, the Wellness Center is open for business. So if you are indulging in donuts or just want to get yourself better, The staff up there is fully mission capable, and I know we've had a couple articles in the Outlook, and there's been some marketing put out there. But they're doing a great job up there. Fantastic operation that we have. We've got our bod pod. Everything's up and running there. So again, that opportunity exists for everybody in the community to come in and get your wellness needs assessed. Thank you.
Okay, at this point, we'll open the microphone up for any community announcements from the audience. We ask today that you sign up in the back of the room, and please limit your announcement to around 30 seconds if possible, and introduce yourself and your organization before you start talking. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Robin Gonzalez from NWR Special Events. Today starts registration for the flea market, swing flea market we're going to have at the library parking lot on 16 May. Participants must be U.S. ID card holders, and the sign-up is at the tax relief office. We're going to run sign-up from 1 April to 1 May, or until the parking lot sells out. And the Party Animals event is Armed Forces Entertainment in support of the month of the military child. Thank you.
And I see we've discovered our second April Fool's joke by having a fake wall in place along the background there, so the rest of you, be careful.
Good morning, Melissa Wakefield from the Central Processing Facility. I'm just here to give a community update. So last December, we reported that the Sojourner office was backed up on our Sojournos. We had 1,500 that were in processing. We are now down to 500, and the Custodial Immigration Office has told us that they will work diligently to get the rest of them processed quickly. So please be patient and know that they are coming back, and we are working hard to make sure that they're working with us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cindy Brown. I'm the manager with the Vicenza main store, and I just want to let you know about some upcoming events. So this weekend, from the 3rd to the 5th of April, we're going to have some specials. So Friday and Saturday, we'll have gold and silver eggs hidden throughout the store. If you find one of those, there'll be a treat inside, and it could be for a gift basket, a gift card, or some store discounts. And on Saturday, we're going to have a coloring table set up for the children with a prize for every kid, draws a little picture. And we'll also have a visit, 2 visits from the Easter Bunny from 9 to 11, and then from 16 to 18. And 2 weeks after that, we'll have our spring savings special from 17 to 19 April. So there's great savings on lawn and garden items, barbecue items, and we'll also have another event for the kids then. And also a reminder, I know with the prom and some balls and things coming up, if you're looking for formal wear, there's a great selection, male and female, on shopmyexchange.com. And one final thing, I know Chris mentioned the outdoor rec catalog, so I have to say we've got a great assortment in now of hiking boots and shoes. With that, so thank you.
Good morning, Reed Buckland. I'm your Education Service Officer from the Education Center. A couple quick announcements. Most importantly, we have our 2015 graduation ceremony coming up on the 20th of May. So if anyone is interested in participating, you get any type of a degree in last year or up to this particular point, or within 12 semester hours of completing that degree, and you want to be recognized for your education accomplishments, please contact the Education Center. We also have a Sergeant First Class. We open it up to the military community at Camp Darby. He's completed his master's degree. He said he has a camp and gun. He's never been able to walk, so he'll be able to take the opportunity to be recognized for his accomplishments there. So anyone interested in that, they can call the admin assistant at 634-8933 and fill out an application form. The second announcement is a much-awaited news for a lot of the mechanics and the 63 Bravos. The National Testing Center has been working hard, and we finally have the ASE exam that people can take online. It used to be a paper-based, now it's online. It's taken about 6 months to get that, so we are one of the 6 testing communities in Europe and the only testing community facility in Italy that can offer that particular test. So if you have any particular questions, you can call Julie at 634, I believe her number is 7055. And lastly, I would like to thank DPW for the, put you on the spot there, for your particular recognition for your staff. And working with us, if everyone hasn't noticed, with the Soldier for Life and the Education Center, interior work, there's a lot of work going on. And we ask for your participation and cooperation.
we're working with your staff so they can adjust the schedule so that we can still conduct our business for online testing so that doesn't disturb there. So just, if you see the trucks out there, we are open, just maneuver around. Be extra careful when you come inside so accidents don't happen.
Thanks, Reed. Thanks for your flexibility as customers as well.
Okay.
You know, that building is a former bakery, so it's been a challenge for us to transform it, and we're still in progress.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Sergeant First Class Washington, the Garrison Equal Opportunity Advisor. Today I'm here to announce that from the 12th to 19th of April is the Holocaust Days of Remembrance Week. The main event is going to be on the 14th of April at the Ederle Chapel from 15:30 to 16:30, and it's going to feature the guest speaker, Mr. Samuel Artel, author and Holocaust survivor. The United States Congress established the Days of Remembrance as our national annual commemoration of the victims of the Holocaust and created the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum as a permanent living memorial to those victims. Remembrance not only obligates us to memorialize those who were killed during the Holocaust, but also reminds us of the fragility of democracy and the need for citizens to be vigilant in the protection of democratic ideals. We remember because we recognize the importance of preserving freedom, promoting human dignity, and confronting hate wherever it occurs. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Carissa Peterson with the American Red Cross Vicenza. I wanted to announce our annual bike rodeo that will take place April 17th from, April 17th from 9 a.m. to noon at the basketball court next to Vicenza Middle School. So be sure to bring out your kids and come check it out. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you.
See if you can hold me to my promise. I will refrain from using the word so.
Too late.
A final reminder, High Holy Season for Jewish and Christian communities. We have, in particular, a Easter community semi-service, Hochster Field Pavilion, 0700. And Barry, as every year, so graciously supports us with professional sound. It's a mosaic of the various congregations come together and participate in celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that's open to the community. And then, of course, the normal scheduled services on the weekend. But any questions pertaining to your faith that may not be mentioned, or more details about what I did mention, just call the Religious Support Office 634-7519 or civilian 0444-747-7519. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Major Mumphrey, your Community Director of Emergency Services. Just have a couple points for you right now. Monday, as most of y'all know, is a training holiday. It's also an Italian holiday. What does that mean for us? Well, it means for those of you coming into work on Monday, Gate 1 will be open as normal. Gate 2 will be open inbound and outbound normal hours of operation. Gate 4, the housing gate, is going to be closed today. So please plan accordingly. As I've stated in previous info lectures, we're currently undergoing a parking and traffic assessment in conjunction with DPW and contract. The final results will be to us in about 40 days. They have identified some things though that we can start to address now, one of which is parking. If you look outside in front of the fitness center and right across the street, you'll see people who are parked counter to the flow of traffic. You're not allowed to do that. So as a reminder, be cognizant of how you're parking, where you're parking. Don't take up too much space. Leave some space for another individual. Those of you with larger vehicles, those nice GMC pickup trucks, who like to park back into the sidewalk where your trailer hitches on feeding the flow. Try to find some place else that's more conducive. There are spots that you can back into to make it easier for others. One of the other things that we're doing is for the school, especially the high school here at Olson Avenue. Some school zone signs have been put up because obviously people don't realize it's a school zone. One of the things that we also need to remind you about is no U-turns are allowed on our streets on the installations. So let's think about the school in the mornings and in the afternoons when parents are dropping off and pick up their children. You're not allowed to make a U-turn in front of high school. Your direction of travel, if you're coming in from gate 1, is to proceed straight towards Ederle and go around the traffic island at Ederle and then come back out. Yeah, that's another 10, 15 seconds of inconvenience, as you might think, but it's obeying the laws. So what we've done is we've worked with the school principal. We have orange cones that are placed out there. We're also going to, as part of the traffic and parking assessment, double stripe the road right down in front of the high school. Now, I have MPs out there in the mornings doing sporadic enforcement. You will be cited for making illegal U-turns in front of the high school. So please, be cognizant, don't do it, and be a good community neighbor. My final point is, since Chris Bradford likes to eat donuts and so do cops, Chris, I'm going to make you an honorary deputy.
All right, thanks, Brian. And I just want to highlight on the traffic assessment survey. So there'll be, as we go through this over the next 4 to 6 months, there'll be some changes in the flows of traffic. They ask you all to be cognizant of that. Some of them will be welcome and will help the flow of traffic as we go along. Some folks who have a particular parking space that they like in one particular place, like if they've got their favorite place to park, they may be disappointed because that parking space may become something else or may be aligned differently. So there will be some changes, but again, it's for the overall community betterment to be safer, to be more conducive to traffic, and to help alleviate congestion and difficulties on our somewhat very tightly packed community here on Ederle. Thanks.
Okay, sir. We now turn the floor back over to you for the open forum portion of the InfoX.
All right, this is my favorite part of live TV, where we open it up to any questions. I haven't received any more online, other than the one just of course one popped up as I said that, so we'll see what the comment
audio
is.
issue.
This one obviously came too late. Is the mic on for the community announcements? I'm not hearing them, so, okay, so that's a good AAR comment for next time. All right. Anything from the community here in the room, questions for anyone that's here? Okay, so if we have no questions, I'll pause for a moment and let anyone who's watching online, and hello to everyone out there that's watching online, to do their question. But Commencer Major, do you have any comments for the group?
Plenty of comments. I'll hold a lot of them in reserve. So a couple things that were brought up is first, you heard something about the Lyme response and it coming in May. But I also still like to tell you that the security posture that was put in place about 2 months ago about not wearing uniforms off post, whether they're ACU, ASU, or the PT uniforms, that's still a go. That's still in place. You still got to abide by that policy that's signed by the USER commander. All right, so leaders, community members, if you see folks off post in those types of uniforms, reel them back in. That means you're driving your truck or your car to the gas pump. You're going to stop, get out for those couple of minutes that it takes. That's a no-go. Can't do that. You got to be in civilian uniform to do that. Okay, so that goes right into Lyme response. When Lyme response is activated, take all cues from the ground leaders. So if you see someone that's part of the DES that's trying to direct traffic or trying to get you to move from point A to point B, listen to them. All right, don't cause more confusion. All right, just listen to what you're asked to do, and go ahead and do that. Okay. A couple things coming up. Spring cleanup is coming up. It's the week of 20 April. All right, that's for the whole community. So the whole community gets out there and spruces up the neighborhood, makes it look like a professional Army installation. And if you live in Villaggio, it's the same thing. You get out of the house, you clean up the grounds around your AO or your area of operation, and you make it look like that it's Army installation. That's a professional view. So anybody comes on to our installation knows that we're trying to take care of our place. Okay. The housing survey, just to beat that drum one more time. You got to do the survey. If you want to get the money that's allocated to you to live in Italy, you got to do the survey. All right. So please, I implore you to do the surveys. All right. And the last two things I'm going to say is the security posture and Lyme response. Why do we do those type of things? And that's all about the community, to keep our community safe and to keep the members of the community safe. So from all those outside influences. So once again, just know that it's all for you. All right, and to make sure that the DES and the military folk know what they're supposed to do when those type of natural or even, enemy attack us, all right? And then the last thing I got is the Transition Summit. That is for everyone in the community. It's not just for the transitioning soldiers and their spouses. It's for everyone. So if you got the time on the 22nd, the night of the 23rd, please come on over, see what's going on, see what you can learn, because that's what it's about. It's about educating yourselves and educating our population so we can better ourselves and so we're more marketable when and if we do go back home. Okay? Sir, that's all.
Okay, nothing else online, so I have just some closing comments. One to highlight on the force protection. So one of the questions I get on this is, how come when I'm coming through the gate, sometimes they're like here and they check my ID cards, and sometimes they check them up there? Well, that's sort of part of the process. We kind of shift things around every once in a while to make sure we don't have a static position that's always the same. So that's part of the plan, to lower our predictability. And we have random access measures. Sometimes when you walk into a building, they check your ID card, and another time you go in there and they check your backpack or your purse or something like that. Again, that's all part of the process to randomize what we do so we don't do a static picture that's always the same. So that's part of the process. So don't worry about when things change up. It's on purpose. We're supposed to be changing things. We're supposed to keep things a little bit fluid so someone that may be watching us doesn't see the same thing every day and be able to make a plan against that. So that's part of that. And also on the spring cleanup, and we have a dedicated week to that, but do your part always. We're a small enough community that individual effort can make a difference. So as you're walking down the street and see a piece of trash on the ground, pick it up, put it in the trash can. And if you see someone toss that trash on the ground, correct them on the spot. Hey, pick that up, because we are a small enough community. We all see each other. We all know each other. We're all running into each other at the PX and the commissary and the food court and all around at the arena and things like that. So help us all make this a better place for us to live, because we will directly see the impact of individual effort to make this better.
Thanks for watching, and while you're here, be sure to watch our other videos and hit like and subscribe.